Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And on this Cricket Happenings show, we are talking about two matches and one which is coming up tomorrow. A brief preview of the first T20 of the series coming up between Australia and India. That will be played at Ranchi. But the first thing, the two things on focus today on this cricket show would be the first day's play in the second test match. As you know, both the sides, there are two test series going on, Sri Lanka versus Pakistan. And so let me start off with Sri Lanka versus Pakistan. As I said, day-night test matches after Pakistan smarting under the defeat by Sri Lanka in the first test match. It was Sri Lanka who won the toss, and as you know, Pakistan are the more experienced in day-night test cricket. But I can definitely say that the Sri Lankans really surprised, even though they were playing they are having their first look at a pink ball under lights. They played magnificently and they closed at 254 for 3 at close of play in Dubai on the first day, with Karunaratne making his 7th test century. And can you believe it? He is right now like the leading run scorer after Dean Elgar, who has already scored 1,000 runs in Test cricket in the year 2017. Hashim Amla, and he's placed third, and this was his 7th century, Dimut Karunaratne, and he really seems to be a very transformed player now, looking at the way he was very fidgety outside the off stump once upon a time. So that is the good news. So Sri Lanka definitely taking the honours here against Pakistan on the first day of their first ever day-night test match, which was played at Dubai under lights against the pink ball. And as far as the other match was concerned, as I said, there was a lot of hype going on about Bloemfontein. It's going to be pacey and bouncy. But South Africans, in fact, it was a good toss to win, I thought, for Mushfiqur Rahim, who probably one does not know what was the real reason. He once again did the cardinal error, one could say, of actually inviting the South Africans to bat, as du Plessis definitely hinted after the toss that 9 times out of 10 he would have preferred batting, and that's what they did. And how true those words were. At the end of the day, the score for South Africa at a pacey and a bouncy Bloemfontein pitch, or a flat track, I would say, it turned out to be a flat track, and in fact the South Africans amassed 428 for 3 at close of play on the first day of the second test match, with Dean Elgar becoming the first person in the year 2017 to 1,000 runs in test cricket. And not only that, he got his century. At the other end, Aiden Markram, who missed his century mark in his maiden test match, this time did not miss the opportunity, as he scored his maiden test century here against Bangladesh. And so we'll come back to that. So these are the two matches. But first I'm heading towards the day-night test match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. So let's have a look at it. So at Dubai, it was the first day of the second test match. The toss was actually won by Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka decided to bat first, and they also made a few changes. They brought S. Samaravikrama, the batsman, into the picture, and also Gamage, the pace bowler, I suppose, he also came into the mix. So that was it. So as far as this particular match was concerned, started off with Sri Lanka starting off with Karunaratne and Kaushal Silva, and Mohammad Amir and Mohammad Abbas started off, and they definitely kept a good line, not allowing few liberties. Wahab Riaz was playing today in the absence of Hassan Ali for Pakistan, and he also, and after that, but it was all about the pace bowlers. Definitely they did their job, but the problem for the pace bowlers or the seamers for Pakistan was that they could not pick up a wicket. So that kept Karunaratne and Kaushal Silva at the crease. And Kaushal Silva, we know how technically perfect he is. At the other end, Karunaratne, as I said, has given up the habit of being fidgety outside the crease, outside the off stump. He seemed to be more confident playing strokes, and also his favorite area is his onside, where he nicely likes to flick the ball between through the mid wicket region and that he was collecting a lot of runs through that shot as well. As this partnership was doing it decently and had taken the score on to 63, the first wicket fell for Sri Lanka, and the only problem that they faced ever was Yasir Shah. So once Yasir Shah, the leggy, came into the mix, the problems started happening for Sri Lanka, as Kaushal Silva was the first victim. He was caught behind the bowling of Yasir Shah for 27 with 2 boundaries. So that was wicket number 1 at 63 for 1. And then Samara Vikrama entered the scene. Samara Vikrama was making his test debut. He came in, looked to be, didn't have much nerves, and he was looking very confident at the crease. He was defending very well, but Yasir Shah, he also pasted Yasir Shah for a few boundaries. One was an inside-out shot that he hit. One was beautifully creamed through the cover region, and Samara Vikrama was looking pretty good at the crease, and he was also dealing with Yasir Shah in a very good manner. Till such time, he had made an impressive 38 with 5 fours and 1 6 that he hit of Yasir Shah, and that was the time Mohammad Amir actually got him caught and bowled for 38. So definitely an innings nipped in the bud there. He was gone for 38. The score at 131 for 2, and then Yasir Shah, who was troubling all the batsmen, all the Sri Lankan batsmen today. He was getting nice turn out of the pitch. He was giving it a real rip, I would say, and he was really spinning the ball. And there was one of those wickets, was a very vital wicket of the Sri Lankan batsman Kushal Mendes, and he was caught by Asad Shafiq of the him for 1. And Yasir Shah was really looking very menacing, in the sense he was looking very menacing at that stage, because he was really giving the ball a rep. The ball was really ripping in and out, and Yasir Shah was looking very dangerous. As the score read 136 for 3, and Sri Lanka definitely in a spot of bother, one could say, at 136 for 3, with Yasir Shah bowling so well. But Dinesh Chandimal, the captain, walked in, and Dinesh Chandimal once again started what he did in the first test, and that was to just stay put at the crease and not taking much risk, and just waiting for the loosest of deliveries to take advantage of. At the other end, Karunaratne, as I said, was looking more confident at the crease, and at 136 for 3, it was really, they had to really play a sort of a workman-like innings, and Chandimal definitely did that perfectly. At the other end, Karunaratne was also doing a fine job, and in the process, as I said, he was picking up runs through the onside, especially his favourite shot through the flick through the mid-wicket, which he's very good at, and he was looking good. And certainly this partnership was started doing very well as runs started coming in, and Karunaratne was the one who was making sure that the scoreboard was ticking very nicely for Sri Lanka as fine. And Karunaratne, as I said, he got his 7th test century, and he's still there at the crease. He was unbeaten 133 to his credit, and Sri Lanka, I would say, recovered from 136 for 3 to 254 for 3 at close of play on the first day of this second test match. And at that time, Karunaratne, with his 7th test century, was 133 not out, 15 fours and 1 6. Chandimal, a workman-like innings as a captain. He was not out on 49 with 5 boundaries, and Sri Lanka closing at 254 for 3. Dimuth Karunaratne, also, as I said, is the 3rd player. As I said, Dean Elgar has already scored 1,000 runs in Test cricket today. He made a century, as you all know, and Hashim Amla are the only ones. The top 3 batsmen in year 2017. Dimuth Karunaratne is the third batsman in the list after Dean Elgar and Hashim Amla to score maximum runs in the year 2017, and that's a wonderful feeling. 254 for 3 was the score that Sri Lanka put up on the board. At the bowling, Mohammad Amir, 16.3 overs, 5 minutes, 1 for 59, did his job. Mohammad Abbas did not look a bit nippy. I mean, he bowled well, but I wouldn't say that he could really generate that real amount of pace that he was generating the other day. 18 overs, 5 minutes, none for 48. Wahab Riaz, 13 overs, 5 minutes, none for 25, did his job. But Yasir Shah was the man who was really asking questions of the Sri Lankan batsman. 29.3 overs, 5 maidens, 90 runs and 2 wickets. Asad Shafiq, 8 overs, 1 maiden, none for 16, and Harry Sohail 5 overs, 1 maiden, none for 15. So that is, but I thought South Africa, Sri Lanka definitely deserve a lot of credit, playing their first ever day-night test match, and Pakistan having more experience, I would say. But I thought Sri Lanka stood the test very well and really came up trumps on the first day of the first test match. So well done, Sri Lanka. Now let's get on to the other match, and now we are talking about the match between South Africa and Bangladesh, which was played at Bloemfontein. There was a lot of hype surrounding this match before the match, saying that it's going to be a very pacey and a bouncy pitch, and but contrary to expectations, it turned out to be a flat track. So let's see what happened. So here Bangladesh won the toss. Mushfiqur Rahim, one was expecting, probably he would have learned his lessons, as in the first test match he did the blunder of actually putting the South Africans in after winning a good toss, and that was precisely the case today as well. Instead of telling his wards to bat first, he invited the host South Africa to bat first, and therein started the problems. And also let me talk about Bangladesh as to what are the changes that they made. They made some changes today, and one does not know whether these were the right changes, because one was surprised. This is that Taskin Ahmed, I was really looking forward to Mustafizur Rahman and Taskin Ahmed actually operating in tandem, but they decided to bring in Rubel Hussain into the mix, and they also had Subhashish Roy. And Mushfiqur Rahim, as I said, probably made the cardinal error of actually inserting the South Africans to bat. As I said, this particular pitch turned out to be a very flat track when Dean Elgar and Aidan Markram were at the wicket, as runs were coming in very, very easily. There was not much of movement for any of the bowlers, either Mustafizur Rahman or Subhashish Roy or Rubel Hussain, and it was really, really very tough stuff for the Bangladeshi bowlers. They had to really, really struggle on this particular track. And Dean Elgar, as you know, what a stodgy player he is, he kept on going, and at the other end Aidan Markram was also showing what a talented bloke he is, as Dean Elgar and Aidan Markram put up a very, very solid foundation for this particular test match by adding 243 runs for the first wicket, and the Bangladeshis were really kept on the park with a lot of frustration, as they were finding it very difficult to get that elusive breakthrough. And then finally, when that elusive breakthrough came, Dean Elgar had gone to his century. He had 113 to his name with 17 boundaries. And also, as I said, Dean Elgar also went past today. He required 16 runs to go past 1,000 runs, and being the first player to do it in the year 2017. But Dean Elgar, well, he finished with he was out. He was the first wicket to go, and Dean Elgar was the first to go when he was caught by Mustafizur Rahman, as Subhashish Roy gave them that elusive breakthrough, as Dean Elgar was a goner, 113 with 17 boundaries. Aidan Markram was looking pretty composed at the crease, and he was dealing with pace and spin alike in a very nice manner. In fact, as you know, one was also surprised with the fact that Mehdi Hasan Miraz, who did not do well in the first test, but he was, I thought he should have been still be given a chance, but they decided to drop him and instead strengthen the pace department. Hashim Amla came in. Hashim Amla was simply playing with that finesse that he is known for, as Aidan Markram was along with Hashim Amla. And Aidan Markram missed his maiden ton in the last test match, but this time he did not miss the bus, as he got his maiden test century against Bangladesh in wonderful fashion, as he started playing his nice drives, and he was looking, as I said, very composed at the crease, as Aidan Markram's contribution was 143 with 22 boundaries before Rubel Hussain rattled his timber. And what a great relief for the Bangladeshis, with the South African score on 276 for 2. And then Bangladesh definitely got a reprieve here, as Temba Bavuma fell a victim to the bowling of Subhashish Roy, who moved the ball a bit, and Litton Das behind the stumps nicely settled under the catch. he was gone for 7. So Temba Bavuma was the only one who was cheaply dismissed, and that made the score 288 for 3. But they had nothing to worry. Hashim Amla was getting fully entrenched at the crease, and he was absolutely not in any sorts of trouble as Faf du Plessis, the captain, joined him. And after that, once again the Bangladeshis had to really struggle as one more big partnership started. From 288 for 3, the South Africans finished the day at 428 for 3. The second highest score on a particular day in Test cricket. 428 for 3 is what South Africa amassed on the first day of the second Test match here against Bangladesh, with Hashim Amla not out on a princely 89 with 12 boundaries. Du Plessis doing his job perfectly, not out on 62 with 6 boundaries. 428 for 3 was the score line that South Africa showed on the board. Now, for Bangladesh, well, if you look at the bowling, Mustafizur Rahman, 18 overs, 3 minutes, none for 78. But Subhashish Roy was the most successful, 20 overs, 2 minutes, 2 for 85. Rubel Hussain sprayed the ball in all directions to be really thrashed. 18 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 91. Soumya Sarkar bowled 5 overs for 21. Taijul Islam, the spinner who actually replaced Mehdi Hassan Miraz, bowled 19 overs and was wicketless for 98 runs. Mahmudullah bowled 7 overs, 2 minutes, none for 27. So there were 8 bowlers used by the captain Mushfiqur Rahim. Mominul Haq, 1 over for 6 and 2 overs for 16 for Sabbir Rahman. And what a display. I mean, I'm sure the Bangladeshi captain Mushfiqur Rahim will be still thinking about the decision that he took of inserting South Africans to bat first, especially after winning the toss. Well, the next thing that I'm going to look at is a very brief preview of the first T20 of the 3-match series, which is coming up tomorrow at Ranchi on Mahendra Singh Dhoni's home ground, as you all know. And well, as far as India is concerned, Shikhar Dhawan is back, so Ajinkya Rahane is out of the mix, and Shikhar Dhawan comes in, and one would be hoping that Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, the established pair, is back, and that is good news for India. Virat Kohli, one feels sorry for Ajinkya Rahane, who did a wonderful job, but as I said, it's a lot of healthy competition in the Indian team, and it's only about keeping on performing, and that's what the Indians have been doing. So Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan will open the innings. Virat Kohli captaining the side. Again, it is going to be a toss-up, whether it's going to be Manish Pandey or KL Rahul. I might be tempted to still probably get KL Rahul and give him a chance in the T20, because he can play a bit aggressively as well. So Kedar, and also Manish Pandey is also not far behind, but probably they can. In my opinion, I would rather settle for KL Rahul once I've been given another opportunity here in the T20. Kedar Jadhav, Dhoni, as you know, it's his home ground, and he would be really wishing that he could play a really a sort of a real, I would say, a smashing innings here in front of his home crowd. Hardik Pandya, and the bowling will be in the hands of Ashish. Now Ashish Nehra is bad. Now it will be interesting to see whether tomorrow India decide to go with 2 spinners, or they decide to have Ashish Nehra. Now with Hardik Pandya already in the team, it also gives India the luxury of probably dropping a spinner, because Kedar Jadhav can do that for India. So it really depends as to what India is planning. Kuldeep Yadav or Akshar Patel or Yuzvendra Chahal. So in my opinion, Kuldeep Yadav would be playing, and probably Akshar Patel, or it could be Chahal. So Ashish Nehra will be back, so that is another good thing. As you know, Ashish Nehra is a perfect T20 specialist bowler, as we all know. And as far as the Aussies are concerned, I can say David Warner and Finch are in some tremendous form, I would say. Stephen Smith, so this Australian team is also looking pretty strong. I think we are going to have a real even battle out in the centre. Moises Henriques, Glenn Maxwell, whether who is going to come. Dan Christian, who is also in some very good form, he's been doing well in the English League. Tim Payne, the wicketkeeper, and Nathan Coulter-Nile, Adam Zampa, but the inclusion Adam Zampa, Kane Richardson, the new inclusion, one would probably see this left arm quick, who is pretty talented, I'm told. He has done very well in the Big Bash League, and he has been amongst the wickets as well. His name is Jason Behrendorff. He's a left arm quickie, and it will be interesting. And one is definitely wanting to see him, and I'm sure he is going to be making his T20 debut. So it will be interesting to see as to how Jason Behrendorff bowls against the Indians. And so I just have a big skimmer here before I leave you, dear friends and subscribers. Pakistan have selected the team to play Sri Lanka in the ODIs, and as you know, the chief of selectors, Inzamam ul Haq's nephew, Imam ul Haq, has been drafted into the squad. So that is the news. Other than that, Ben Stokes, pending investigation, Ben Stokes won't be a part of the Ashes. So that is definitely would have come as a huge blow to England, no doubt about it. And that's the news which is coming in, that Ben Stokes won't be a part of the Ashes squad, but he has definitely been given a contract. So Stokes and Hales have retained their contracts with England, and Wood has lost his contract, and that is very sad. Jake Ball has got the contract, and in the place of Ben Stokes would be Stephen Finn, who would be going to Australia. And very sad for Ben Stokes, but nevertheless, it's very sad that this thing had to happen. One is, and also I'm told that Jason Behrendorff is very keen to make his debut against India. So probably he's looking at something here, and it'll be interesting to see whether Jason Behrendorff can really rattle the Indians tomorrow in this T20 game. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, it's about time for me to pull the curtain down on this daily cricket show by bidding you all a very good night, but telling you or promising you that you will be seeing me once more tomorrow on the next cricket broadcast. Until such time, it's good night.